Hey guys, just want to do a really quick unboxing video here. We have a box full of captive bred Uromastyx, bred right here in Canada, 3 species, which is pretty exciting. A lot of the time in pet stores you see the yellow and the red Saharan Uromastyx, which are often wild caught, but you don't often see a lot of captive bred stuff, especially in a pet store environment. So excited to be able to offer some of these to you guys. So we're going to go through all 3 species here. I'll talk a little bit about them quickly, and we'll show them off, of course, as well. So we're going to start off with the Uromastyx ornata, or the ornate Uromastyx. So this is going to be one of the more colorful species that a lot of people are going to want. These guys, especially the males more specifically, will get tons of blue and green coloration throughout their body, and then have these yellow stripes, and they'll get a little bit of red on there as well. So obviously right now you can kind of see a bit of the pattern and a little bit of color developing, but it's nothing compared to what these guys will look like when they're older. The females will maintain those yellow bands, but won't have nearly as much of that blue-green coloration. And at this size, it's a bit of a guessing game for the genders, of course. So, but all really calm, captive bred babies. You can see this guy has no problem being held. For any customers that are taking home these little guys, though, we do not recommend holding too often at that size, but as they get older and a little more confident, they won't stress nearly as easy from handling. So the ornate Uromastyx are going to be, I believe, from Egypt, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen are the main countries I believe they're found in. And then again, these are agamids, so closely related to the commonly kept bearded dragon. One of the reasons they're such an appealing lizard for so many people, because they are going to have that diet that primarily consists of leafy greens, things like fresh alfalfa, collard greens, endives, dandelion greens, squash. There's some other stuff as well. They can have small amounts of fruit in that, but there are plenty of lists online that kind of show some of the different diets you can offer them, as there's going to be stuff that's going to be a better regular daily staple and stuff that might be a once a week or once a month type treat. But as with any animal, you want to offer as much variety as possible. The ornates as well are going to be getting around that 12 to 14 inch range, so you're going to be looking at something like a minimum tank of 36 by 18 inches, but ideally a 4-footer, something like a 4 by 2 by 2, sandy bottom, lots of stones to kind of retain that heat. Uromastyx bask very hot, usually in that 120 to 130 Fahrenheit range, with some of them liking it as high as 140. And then yeah, so we're going to get into the second one here. So this is Uromastyx ocellata, or the ocellated Uromastyx, known for those circles there, which are going to be a bright yellow or white, and then the body's going to kind of have that blue-gray look. Not quite as colorful, but still very beautiful. And these guys are the smaller of the two, so I believe they're going to be in that 10 to 12 inch range. So tank size is pretty much identical. Care for the two identical. You're more so just kind of picking the one you like the look of. You can see these babies are a lot smaller than the other guys. They're all pretty consistent for sizing amongst the species that we got. And for those guys, they have much of the similar distribution, Egypt, but they're also found in Somalia, Sudan, and a couple other countries as well. And then lastly, we're going to get into these. So these are Uromastyx egyptia, which are the Egyptian Uromastyx. So at this size, you're going to see a little more of their pattern, more of those yellows. And you can just see how much bigger the babies are. So these guys are going to be, I believe, the largest Uromastyx species in the world. You're looking at 24 to 30 inches. I've personally seen ones that are 3 feet long, and they're absolute monsters at that size, and they're really heavy bodied. Think of like a tegu-sized animal, sometimes potentially a little more weight, but not as lengthy as the tail. So obviously diet is going to be the same. They're just going to be eating a lot more food. Temperatures are going to be the same. Enclosure size is going to be different on these guys. So at a bare minimum, you are looking at something like a 6 by 3 by 3. Ideally, though, something probably in the 8-foot range to really properly house these monsters. But again, these guys all super calm. Don't have much of a problem being held, which is always nice to see. And yeah, that pretty much concludes this order. I mean, we got several types of, or several of each of the species. Most of them look more or less the same. I'll take a quick look through here. Here's an ornata with a little more color on it right now. And again, it's just going to develop with age, right? So, but yeah, that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed these little short unboxings. We're definitely going to do more of them because we have several smaller shipments. Well, some small, some pretty big shipments coming in over the next month. Hopefully some before the CRB, but I know there's going to be some coming afterwards. And again, we're looking to do a lot more of these videos, and not just unboxings, but these ones that I know people always like to see what's coming in right away. Hopefully we'll have these guys up for sale fairly soon. We're going to let them settle in for a little bit, but we're going to have them on the site, get the proper photos up and everything like that. If anyone has any questions about any of these, be sure to give us a call, send us a message. But aside from that, keep an eye out for future shipments. We're going to be doing some filming for the Canadian Reptile Breeder Expo, and we are going to have a reptile booth, a fish booth, and a plant booth at that show. So it's going to be a big show, probably one of the biggest CRBs to date, so it's definitely one worth attending. So yeah, again, thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next video.